I did start this when I was in the military, roughly about 10, 12 years ago. I was a guard down in Guantanamo Bay for about a year and a half, as well as then going and working in the aviation side of the military, and some other ones that I've actually done too were for police officers. So kind of going into the, like what Tim said, the good, better, and best. This one right here is one that is going to be under good. Now, as you can see on this one I call it a sidewinder. All my weaves kind of have snake names. So with this one, you're going to get something that is very flexible. It's got a nice movement to it. And with this one, you're going to get anywhere from pretty much, you can have it 2 to 3 different colors. All of them are going to be coming with a higher quality metal buckle on them. And that way you'll have a very solid piece of what I like to call wrist candy, if you will, that matches your watch team colors. The great thing about these is almost 1,000 different colors that I can choose from. This is kind of my navy one here. It's kind of got a multicolored blue, what would be almost like a blue camouflage or digital pattern to it. And that one is going to be at our better level. So with this one, it's a lot thicker. It's a lot, as you can see, based on the other one, which is kind of thin. You put this one on top of it, you can see that it's a lot thicker. Now, it's not as flexible as the other one is, but it's still got, you know, some flexibility to it. So it'll curve around. And again, with that nice solid metal buckle there. And this is actually what I've called an anaconda weave because of how thick and durable that this one is. Moving on to the best, and the reason that I call this the best, it's actually the amount of time that it takes for me to weave this one. I actually have to hand do this all one knot at a time. I mean, you can turn it, twist it. It is the most flexible, probably one of the most comfortable ones as well. Up to 6 different colors. I've made a rainbow one before, thin blue line ones for police officers. The school that I went to, it'll give plenty of room, you know, to be able to get to where it needs to be, and it'll be very, very comfortable. What I actually do is, it's called gutting the inside of these, because each of these is solid military spec 550 cord, so it's got 7 strands inside of the cord. I'll just remove the core from the actual inside of this, and that way it's going to be it's pretty much it's a gutted version, and it'll still have the exact same look. It'll just be exactly like you want, thinner. There are weaves, they're pretty much super simple. Those are the ones that you'll see on all the sites for $5 to $10. This is going to be the higher quality. There won't be any of that weird fusion in the middle of a cord. It's going to be at the very end where it's supposed to be. And even in some of these, like with this one, you're not even going to be able to see where it's fused. I actually have a cigar torch that I control the temperature on. It'll actually make it the color that it should be, and it'll be a seamless, it'll just mold together like it's supposed to. That's another one of those quality things that I have that most people that are doing these things don't do. These are my 2, what we'll call good spinners. These are going to be the most basic ones. Just little, almost very pocket size, not even much bigger than some of the actual sizes. And I'll show you, you know, right here. You know, great little spin. And then I got the other one, which has got a couple of nuts on it. What I'll do is I'll actually put one literally right up against my mic right here, and you won't hear anything. Here. The biggest thing, this is crazy, I did a bunch of research on different types of bearings, trying to figure out, you know, there's certain ones that, yeah, you can get the 3-4 minute spin times and it's super great and everything like that. But the problem is with that is they're loud. They make that noise that drives teachers, everybody crazy. I went with some specific type of skating bearings and did tons of research on them and found out which ones are literally virtually silent. And that's the reason why you'll see in the prices why they're a little bit more than what you would expect on certain spinners. Is the difference is again, handmade and also quiet. not just quiet, but almost like Mike said, virtually silent, which is the big thing that anybody wants. Because it, like, if you're in your office, if you're out someplace, nobody wants to hear it. They want to see it, and people will definitely see it. That's the crazy thing. I carry one of these around with me pretty much every place that I go, and it catches everybody's eyes, because not just because it's a spinner, but because it's different. Most everybody have those plastic 3 tri-spinners or whatever, and everybody has those. That's not, that's the average Joe thing. These are going to be different. They're going to catch people's eyes just based on, looks alone. So for goods, that is what I call the buy one here, which is just the 2-sided one. And then the smaller 3-pronged one here, which just has a nut on each one, just one on each one. And the reason that these are smaller is, through the research I have done, some people have smaller hands, because it can only fit through a certain spot. So if you've got a smaller hand, so the next level up that I have is going to be the better level, which is going to be these two. This is going to be the tri one. It's pretty much the big brother of this one, except it's got 3 prongs and it's got 6 nuts on it. Now, the other difference is the bearing inside, because they're going to give you more spin time. And again, just the better that it gets, the more quiet. They have bearing caps, folks. They are not just a bare bearing where you have to like pinch the little inside. No, these actually have the caps on them. So then we've got our best. These are a hybrid bearing. They are the ceramic and stainless steel. So they can take a beating, they can, weather elements, everything that goes against them, it will work. Now, the big difference here, other than just the bearing, is also, you'll see here, we've got some ornamentation here, like little skulls, and we also have an upgrade to some of them will have brass nuts instead of just regular nuts. So this one's got, it's a horrible picture, but you've got like wings and a cross. So if you want something that's all one color, we can do that. And in the listing, it'll say how many different colors each one is able to have as well. And the nice thing too is the caps aren't like glued in. If I can do it here real quick for you. Boom. Took it off. There's the bearing right there. You can go into it, you can clean it. And the great thing too is, even with the caps, they're customizable. I've got almost 40 different colors for those. We can figure something out in that good, better, best range for everybody. It's going to be by Sean.